This is Solon001 with a double Vanguard deck profile. In this video I shall be reviewing Troll decks 3 and 4. For those who don't know, those are the new Oracle Think Tank and Nova Grappler decks, located here and here. There you go. Now, let's start with the Oracle Think Tank. These were bought at a place called Coliseum of Comics. They are based in Orlando, Florida, where we're staying at the moment. So if you're in the area, look them up on West Vine Street. Anyway, let's get going. Trigger setup. 4 heals for the Oracle Think Tank. We have 4 Lozenge Magus. Lozenge Magus is also your starting Vanguard because it can move to a Rear Guard circle and then return to the deck. So potentially using infinite heal triggers there if need be. This deck then runs 4 draw triggers in the shape of Victory Maker. And another 4 draw triggers with Dream Eater. It also then has 4 critical triggers in the form of Oracle Guardian Nike. Okay. We then have 3 Lookbird. Lookbird there, Soul Blast 2. And placed on the rear guard. If you have an Oracle Think Tank Vanguard, you will pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. We then, if it will focus properly, thank you, have 2 Battle Sister Maple. Let's quick look at the effect. We then have 4 Revergirl Milk. And look at the effect. Short obligatory plus 4,000 booster with its own club. We have 4 Dark Cat. These focused on when it being called, both people being able to draw the card. As this is a pure Oracle Think Tank deck, of course you're going to have a Vanguard, which is Oracle Think Tank, so it works well. And then 8k Vanilla Beatdown, Oracle Guardian, Gemini. And my deck keeps falling over. Stop it, you. Right, and we now go to the Grade 2s. Where we find ourselves here with 2 Sword Dancer Angel. But of course will work in turn with your Dark Cats and with your Lookbirds. We then have a special Intercept, and we have 4 of those. No perfect guards, of course, because it's a starter deck, well, a troll deck. So they don't want you going OTT with the defense, otherwise you wouldn't want to buy the packs, would you? Let's face it. Then 4 essences of the 10k beta. Which is pretty standard. We then move up to our Grade 3s. To our Grade 3 Oracle Guardian, which is Apollon, which involves counter blessing to draw cards. The effect lessens course, if you're in the rearguard circle. We then have 2 Meteor Break Wizard, which is a new card as far as I'm concerned, but you could be in a pack somewhere. I don't really pay attention to the packs all that much, but still. Pretty standard, it's like Sagramore, grade 3 for the Paladins. And then the signature card, which is Goddess of Flower Divination, Sakuya. Which, now you know why this deck focuses on drawing cards so much. And of course, the fact that you can return all of your Oracle Think Tank rearguards to your hand, of course, means then you can call Dark Cats, draw more cards, you'll gain your abilities. Okie dokie, next, Nova Grapplers. Starts with Battle Razor. Battle Razor, of course, being the same as Loden's Magus, but it's a stand trigger. Nova Grapplers tend to prefer stands compared to anything else, because they have other effects which more, when this unit attacks, which chain to each other. So the more stand triggers you have in a Nova Grappler deck, typically the better. We then have 4 heal triggers, 4 Ringo Clara, which I'm making a mess of that. We then have a second set, stun triggers, and then 4 criticals in the form of Shining Lady, which Shining Lady critical is pretty standard in Nova Grappler. We then have 2 Battering Minotaur, which is like a grade 1 version of the Sagramore from Gold. We then have 3 Queen of Heart, which is meant to go with the King of Sword, which we'll show you later. We then have the Screaming and Dancer and Nemsa Shout. And we have 4 of these, which, for those who play War Paladins, is pretty much like your standard Lien. Good for the first turn. Then we have the obligatory 7k Counterblast +1. We then have 4 8k Vanillas in the form of Tough Boy. Then go to grade 2. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that, guys. We now have 4 MGM Prototype, which is your special intercept, 8000, 5k double to 10k, if you intercept a Vanguard of the same type. We then have Super Electromagnetic Lifeform Storm, which, yeah, flipping the damage face up and activating effects when you rest and stand is key for novel grapplers. Then you have your 10k beta, 4 of them, which is your King of Sword, which goes well with your Queen of Heart. You then move for grade 3s. You're given 4 Mr. Invincible, which involves soul charging and flipping a damage face up, and then your Mega Blast, and it stands all units. You then have 2 Death Metal Droid, which is your 10k counter blast for free when it attacks, and then the Novel Grappler signature card, Gold Rutile, which is pretty awesome, I must say. It's the first time me looking through these myself, to be fair. I've not really looked at Gold Rutile all that much. Yeah. I've already mentioned about the Oracle Think Tank, but what I can imagine you doing is with, say, Gold Rutile, playing a card there, and then... Right. There's cards which will stand once you've activated their effect, and then you can use that to stand like the back row. So for instance, when it boosts, it'll stand back up, and then use your Gold Rutile to restand a front row in the same column, so you can get essentially 4 boosted attacks if the attack goes through and you put it off right. Overall though, a really well balanced and evened out decks. So if new players to Vanguard want to try out and don't want to stick to the conventional Royal Paladin, Kagero, and the evolved forms, as I call them, decks, then these are 2 very different yet very enjoyable and well balanced decks to play with. So, sorry for the quality as before. If you wish me to do a better review once I've played with these decks more and I've got used to the way they play and got a better setup when I get home, just let me know in the comment section and I'll see what I can do. But until then, this is Solon001 signing off.